What's up? I see True Seeker. What time is it? Oh my goodness. I had different times going on here. Welcome. This is Kim Inari, and you have landed at Paradigm Theory. Welcome. Hi. Okay. I want to make sure I am not getting any feedback. Uh, True Seeker, let me know if you can hear me. I am getting some feedback. Hold on. Hi. So you can hear me? Am I coming in loud and clear? Any feedback going on, Paul? Let me know. Make sure. Okay, beautiful. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Kind of spur of the moment live stream because, boy, it's been, this light. It's been a couple of weeks, and I thought I would hop on. And talk about some things. Let me just lower this a little bit. I'm on my wonderful laptop. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Truth Seeker. I know I'm kind of in the middle of the week, and happy Wednesday for everyone else that has other things to do. I know that I'm on Pacific Coast time, and so other people may have plans for today. There's a lot going on, right? We have Mother's Day that's coming up. I can't believe how fast this month is just absolutely flying. I mean, I know it's only the 6th, but I just feel it's going to go by fast. I have a lot of things going on at my job, and a lot of blackout weekends where I can't even take off from work or call in sick. And so I have to be on my game, and that is going to be the whole month. And so I'm looking forward to it. Here in Las Vegas, we are probably one of the touristy cities out there. This month of May is our money making month. Lots going on. And I even think Electric Daisy Carnival is going to be coming through too. I'm not sure if it's on the weekend of Mother's Day, and that is a humongous thing going on if you're into tech music. So I'm actually having a friend of mine, and their friend is coming down to go to EDC, meet up with them. I don't do EDC. I have to work. So for some people that are into that, yes. So it's a very, very busy month here where I live. Anyway, so part of why I wanted to come in and do this stream and talk about my first part of my title was Area 51. And so I follow Anders on Uncanny Expeditions, and he's wonderful. He's taking a lot of risk doing some things for the past couple of years, and has shown amazing videos on his channel of when he climbs that, I think it's 10 or 12,000 feet, Tikaboo Peak, and has his long range camera, and is actually probably one of the most clearest videos ever out on what's really going on with Area 51. Now, I know that some people would say that Anders shouldn't be doing that, right? We need to have some secrets. And I feel that anybody can go there. He just did it at that time. When was that? Like a year and a half ago or a year. and he just had the right type of camera and was able to really catch some amazing things that happen at Area 51. And the amazing things that are happening is showing the flight line, some experimental demo. I'm not even sure if these are drones or whatever coming up out of the ground, showing some F-16s and other planes that fly in and out of wherever, or here in Las Vegas is Nellis Air Force Base. And Nellis Air Force Base does fly into Area 51. I've also had two relatives in the past that worked for the Department of Energy and actually worked at Area 51 and had very high Q. I think the Q clearance, I'm not sure if that's the highest because everybody has different clearances. And so they're retired now. They used to be in the Air Force. And they really, to this day, can't really talk about whatever it was that they were doing. They were both firefighters out there, which is interesting, right? So you have all kinds of different subcontractors out at Area 51 and people working for Department of Energy, Department of Defense, and subcontractors. And I lived out there with my ex in Pahrump, and he would drive to one of the gates to Area 51 and would do his thing. And then his brother, my brother-in-law, would have to fly the Janet airline or the Janet plane out of, at that time, Harry Reid, because we're thinking of early 90s, and would have to fly into a different part of Area 51. So Area 51 is quite massive, right? So I just wanted to kind of go into what Tikaboo Peak is and why it's so restricted. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up and why I wanted it as my first part of my title. So I follow Jorg on Dreamland Resorts, and I'm so sorry. My allergies have really been kicking up on me, and I do apologize. So, I don't want to sneeze. I'm so sorry. Excuse me, guys. I should have muted my mic. Excuse me. Apologize about that. So Jorg at his website, Dreamland Resort or Dreamland Resorts, his site has been around, I want to say, for 15 years, could be longer than that. And so now Jorg has his YouTube channel, and it has grown a lot. And he lives out in Rachel, Nevada. And he also back in the day, has climbed Tikaboo Peak and taking pictures and things. And so, so when I was on Dreamland Resorts YouTube channel, this was like a couple of days ago, Jorg was talking about how the Bureau of Land Management wants to close Tikaboo Peak because so many people now are hiking up there and are taking videos of Area 51. So I was like, well, that's been going on from different people, not just Jorg, for years and years and years and years. So let me kind of read to you. This is kind of explain to you what I'm talking about. So Tikaboo Peak is located on the Bureau of Land Management, BLM, land, which generally remains open for limited public use, such as hiking. There is a restricted airspace, like I talked about. We already know you cannot fly into Area 51. You will probably be escorted out by plane or shot down by some of those wonderful F-16 pilots out there who are actually at Area 51 all the time. While the ground hike is legal, so we know that hundreds of people have hiked up Tikaboo Peak in the years, hundreds, not thousands. The airspace is directly over and surrounding the peak is part of the Nevada Test and Training Range, NTTR. So on my X account, uh, really love Yorg, Dreamland Resorts, and Uncanny Expeditions. And so I will retweet their YouTube channel when they start talking about the NTTR. And so Nellis Air Force Base out here in Las Vegas is a very famous weapons school. It's like the Top Gun of the Navy, have the most amazing pilots that go and train at NTTR. They come, they're very young, they're hungry, they're all probably in their early 20s and flying these amazing F-16s and F-35s and whatever else. And also our friendlies from other countries go and test. And they call it dogfighting. It's not really dogfighting. They are just learning how to mesh all together in case of war. And we already know what's going on with some things in the United States and Iran at this time. So a lot of them are kind of probably doing their thing and monitoring whatever is going on over there. We really don't know because all media is closed off. We have no idea, but I'm just assuming that that's what's happening. So George Knapp and my UFO community know who George Knapp is. He's actually a reporter out here on Channel 8 News. And Channel 8 News, I used to watch the local news all the time. I remember George Knapp, and for him to be with Jeremy Corbell and with their YouTube channel, podcasts and everything, George Knapp has really blown up. And George Knapp really blew up when he, interviewed Bob Lazar and let the world know about Area 51. So when I was watching Dreamland Resorts and York brought this up, that part of Tikaboo Peak, they're thinking of closing it down or restricting it completely and not letting anyone near or hiking to get to the very top. And there's so many videos of different people with YouTube channels that when you hike all the way up to the very top, there is a camera up there. And there's cameras underground. So as soon as you put your feet below Tikapoo Peak, ready to go hike, a lot of these cameras are camouflaged. They look like rocks and the ground. And guess what? You are followed all the way up there. They know who you are. They saw your car and license plate reader. I mean, they do everything. And so they know everyone that goes to Tikapoo Peak. And like I said, there is a camera up there. And sometimes they get flybys by helo pilots. And so it's kind of interesting how that happens as well. So what do I think about that? I guess I want to say that, they maybe they should and maybe they shouldn't. I mean, do we have people from other countries doing the same thing and showing what's actually happening in this most restricted space in Nevada, Area 51? And yes, they do test drones and experimental planes out there. And it's so hidden. And, York had explained, if you are on, is it Flight Trader 24, something like that, that actually follows the Janet jets into, or the Janet Airlines into Area 51, that it falls off the radar. You don't see it anymore. And I thought it's because they have the capabilities to shut that off. But York was saying it's just because the mountains that they're descending into an area where it's just, you just don't get anything. You can't see anything. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I feel like they can scramble because York actually has scanners, and you can listen in. It's not just Dreamland Resorts. There's other people that have listened to the scanners of when our pilots are training out there at Nevada Test Range, and you can hear them with their call signs and how they're dogfighting and what they're doing, if you can understand that lingo. And I find that interesting too, and I'm kind of into that. So they do scramble that sometimes, those scanners. So why am I bringing this all up? Well, this is how I feel about all of the things that are happening in this world at this time. That most things we want, not so much with the military. I do feel that we need to have some things that are not exposed to the world, especially with anything having to do with new, like stealthy things and whatever else they're doing at Area 51 and other places that should not be seen to the public. But do I think there's aliens out in Area 51? Well, it's such a restricted area. They can have anything they want. I mean, I've heard many stories, and when you go on Dreamland Resorts website, a lot of people that used to work out there as subcontractors are actually some of the people that are in the discussion forums, and people that used to work out there 20 years ago or whatever, that will come on and talk about their experiences. And so I just want to say and acknowledge Truth Speaker, guys. This is my dear friend, and I'm very glad that you're here. And I have to really, I've got some wonky things out here in my eyes. These contacts are absolutely horrible. But I do want to appreciate True Seeker being here. I know it's a really hard day for some people to come on. And so, this live stream will be, when I end it, will be up for everybody to kind of check it out. So, so I wanted to, what do I think about all that? I'll get back to what I was thinking. I feel that they should not close it down. I'm thinking they should not close the access down to Tikaboo Peak. That is the last mountain that is not restricted at this time. And if it is restricted, that's it. There's other mountains in and around Area 51, and they are all restricted. Tikaboo Peak is the last one. If the Bureau of Land Management restricts that mountain for anyone to hike up, take videos, that is it. That will be it. Finito, done. It will probably never be open again, and we will never really see anything. So Area 51, of course, has, I feel, is several layers underneath. Of course it is. And I feel like they do a lot of things underneath. Now, how far down? I don't know. It could be several miles down. I'm getting that intuitively. And they have the capabilities to be digging and probably been doing that for decades. So, yeah, I do feel that that does happen. True Seeker, I was like trying to think of how many years ago that we met on some other channels. I mean, definitely with Thomas's channel. And, we got to fast forward. Have you seen the new Lazar? I have not. Oh my God, I have to wait until I have time. What do you think about that? Because, some people are still skeptical about Bob. And Bob was the one that contacted George Knapp and told him about everything at Area 51. We didn't even know there was an Area 51. It was Bob Lazar. And you know what's kind of interesting about that, Truth Seeker, is that Jorg at Dreamland Resorts doesn't believe Bob Lazar. He doesn't believe his story. Now, isn't that interesting? Now, how would the world know that there was an Area 51 if Bob Lazar didn't tell the world about Area 51? So I've kind of, for whatever reason, they have bumped heads, and maybe Bob and Jorg, and for whatever reason. And, I would love to see the movie. I haven't. I just have to have the time to watch it and not be interrupted with life and things on my days off. But yeah, have you seen it? True Seeker, have you seen the movie? I don't know if anybody else did. Harold, did you guys stream it on Google Meets? I don't know. But that, to be honest with you, I would love to see it. I really would. I think that I was retweeting a lot of the director's post on X, and I did see the trailer, and I think it was done very well. Bob spoke of Janice Airlines before anyone has heard about it. Yeah, exactly. So the Janet Airlines, I call them the Janet Jets, but it's just like a regular commercial plane, but it is a private plane to take subcontractors out to Area 51. Like I said, my brother-in-law was a firefighter, and he had to jump on that plane and to get to whatever area where the firehouse was. It must be quite large. You must have several. I'm just saying, I don't know. I might be highly wrong, but here are these two brothers. They're both firefighters. They're both working for, at that time, the Department of Energy. And so I'm assuming that Area 51, and I'm sure it is massive. And so they may have maybe more than one firehouse out there. And before Pahrump I think they had a firehouse in Pahrump. We're thinking, I'm talking about early 90s, but sometimes the people at the test site would have to help with the particular highway out there for the public because they just didn't have enough at that time. Now the city of Pahrump is the population is growing, and I'm sure they got everything going on out there. Yeah. So the Janet Airline is still in. I mean, they actually fly over my goddamn house. It's usually early in the morning. I don't know. Sometimes I'm awake, so it's usually like 3 a.m. or 3:30, and there's a couple of them that fly over, and 2 or 3, and yeah, it's interesting to even tell you guys that, but you can find out, and they fly not direct. So I must be like sleeping, but they do fly directly over my area where I live, and they go over Mount Charleston, and because I'm not really that far from Area 51, kind of far, but not really. So to get back to that, I don't think they should close it. I don't think they should close Tikaboo Peak. I think they should leave it open. No, you go ahead, True Seeker. You can always watch this later. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. I'll see you on X. You take care. Bye. So yeah, so I wanted to talk about that I don't think they should close Tikaboo Peak. I think it should just stay open for the public and people to hike up there and take lots of videos. All right, guys. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was data centers. And and if you don't know, I'm just going to read a short thing, and you can look on Wikipedia. And a data center is a facility used to house computer systems and associated components such as telecommunications and storage systems. So the four common categories of data centers are on-site enterprise data centers used mainly by a company, employees, and clients. Co-location facilities where many companies rent space in a shared data center, and hyperscale data centers owned by very large cloud service companies, and smaller edge data centers located close to end users. I'm bringing this up because it came up on X that Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, and he's Canadian and very well known. He's been someone that has been on Shark Tank for, wow, maybe 8, 10 years. And he is invested in a data center north of Salt Lake City that just got passed. And it is, and I wrote this down, it's 2.5 times larger than Manhattan, the city of Manhattan in New York. Can you believe that? And so, yes, so it's north of the beautiful Salt Lake. And data centers have to have water. And so data centers are interesting to me because a lot of them are owned by these oligarchs that have invested cloud servers and all of that. It has to be held at a very large facility. And yes, it has to be near water. If you know science, water is a conduit of energy. Our human bodies have a little bit of electricity in it. And of course, we have a lot of water in our bodies. And so, like, when our nerves or things are not quite working all that well, or they're slowing down, or they're hurting, a lot of that is also electricity in our bodies. We have to have electricities to be alive and live. And so, so what do I think about that? Well, a lot of them are owned by the military, these data centers on military land. So, and the state of Utah is also interested in that as well. So it's two things, right? And so the military has to have these very large data centers, and to hold all the cloud information. And so, and for tax write-off purposes. Now, I live in the city of Las Vegas, and there is Lake Mead. So I don't know if Lake Mead also has homes, private homes, just like some of these people in Salt Lake that went to this meeting, commissioners, and got very loud and heated. And guess what? It passed anyway. So the data center is going to be built north of Salt Lake City. I don't think we can stop things like this. And I know it was pretty heated with mainly a lot of the people that live in and around the data center. But you just can't stop progress. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. So I'm going to keep going because I don't want this to be too long, guys. So yes. So I wanted to also talk about hold on one second. Oops. Of what's happening with season 7 of Skinwalker Ranch, which is also located in Utah, that very strange area. I'm excited. Do I feel like they have jumped the shark on that show? I don't think so. I think there is a lot going on at Skinwalker Ranch, and I can't wait for it to start. So, as I know, I put it up. Hold on. Skinwalker Ranch, because, it's privately owned by Brandon Frugal. The season is I think it's going to premiere on the 19th of this month. So I'm reading, it says, after new tests reveal clues about the ceramic materials that were extracted from the mesa, the team fires extreme heat above the triangle. which leads to the amazing phenomena that happens out there at Skinwalker Ranch. So I don't think it has jumped the shark. I can't wait till that starts. So May 19th, and I believe it's on the History Channel. So check that out if you can. Also, lastly, lots of talk going on about the release of the UFO videos. We've talked about that. I believe there's 46 videos that we all in my UFO community, I'm waiting and hoping that they're going to release these videos and any other documents, files on unexplained things that have been flying around, aerial phenomena all over the world, not just here in the United States. So I just wanted to read on X, Kash Patel, 7 hours ago, UFO files have been delivered to be released. Now, I don't know who it's been delivered or released to, but it seems like there's some movement going on. Do I stay on the fence about this? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope something will be released soon. Next couple of days. Also, it's making the waves too on social media. Religious leaders have been told to prepare now for UFO disclosure. Wow. Even David Grush, excuse me, says UFO disclosure will dramatically escalate within the next 60 to 90 days. So there's a lot going on, guys. There's so much to talk about. So many different things are happening. And I want to kind of make a montage of things that interest me and to put on my channel today, because I am not going to be back for a couple of weeks on here. I do apologize about that. But if anything breaking, I'll try to make a really quick video. But I didn't want it to be too long. So thank you for hanging in there with me, following me on my very small channel. I hope everybody stays safe out there. And happy Mother's Day. That's coming up. My goodness, we have Memorial Day. There's a lot going on this month. And hopefully we'll get some release of some information of some UFOs and things like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, I didn't want it to be too long. The comments will be left on for everyone. Thank you so much to all of my followers. And I will be back in a few weeks. And anything else goes on, let me know. Okay. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to end this stream. Everyone take care. Have a wonderful day. And I will be back soon. Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye.